So truly delighted to be with all of you once again. It brings me real pleasure, real sense of delight, to come to engage with my students like this, those who have so enthusiastically joined this important SWAM program centering on soft skills. When we talk about soft skills these days, there is a increasing awareness about that, and I am sure that all of you are doing well as far as reading the study material, understanding that, analyzing that, and using that in your day to day life also. Please understand that this is not just a academic program. We are trying to kind of bring in a transformative side, like which will reflect in both your professional life as well as your personal life. So, yes, it has brought me great sense of academic satisfaction bringing this program to you, and I'm hoping and I'm sure that you are deriving same kind of pleasure, delight, and kind of that awareness all the time when you engage with us. So, yes, in this lecture today we will discuss as to why soft skills are important, with a focus on personality development. Personality development is the, like in a way, cornerstone of all communication theories. Like where do we look at the idea of personality? For example, personality is not just something what you say, what the kind of words you speak, how do you look. It's a combination of multiple factors. We will discuss that in great detail. But let me kind of throw this question at you, like how do you assess your personality? Are you taking an active stock of your personality on a regular basis? Are you aware that what are your advantages, what are your key strengths, and what are your key limitations? So, you may look at all these factors and kind of improvise that, improve upon that, and then take your professional and personal life to a newer height, newer in a way understanding. When we are discussing it today, I must say that this focus on personality development is not new. Right from, say, when we were there in cave days, agricultural life, agrarian setup, agrarian landscape. Right from there, like a person, there is always a sense of uniqueness embedded in each one's personality. So, how do we harness that? How do we take that into perspective? Like you will find that 10 people do the same work, they have the same skill sets, but still like one person or more people will score over others. Like what? So, people point out that it is the personality which counts more. It is the personality which determines our success in many ways. So, let's try to orient ourselves as to how to understand personality and then work on personality development. Yeah, I mean, if I may talk about what are the objectives, for example, to begin with. Like I think we are trying to help our learners to kind of grab a wider comprehensive sense of personality development, which is a very pivotal skill, and that influences success in both our professional and personal life. It's not that it will touch upon, it will just influence one side of your life, no, but all the directions, all the aspects and sides, dimensions that you may have. So, it encourages awareness of the factors that shape personality and highlights the value of harnessing inherent strengths for holistic growth. So, we have to work on this, and we have to understand personality development, and then we have to look at how we can improve upon this. So, if I may give you some data, some statistics, some empirical support, there is this important institute, Carnegie Institute, which has conducted a study in which they have found that, which they have brought out this data and its analysis, that 85% of job success relies on well developed personality traits and people skills. And look at the percentage of the skill part, like they say that only 15% depend on technical knowledge. It is not that like we are trying to run down the value of technical knowledge, it is not like that. So, but we are saying that if 10% have the same uniform homogeneous skill sets, but if they have a higher understanding of personality development, of a higher assessment of who they are, what is their true purpose, how do they have to conduct themselves. So, like that, so that is something very very important, which has been brought out to us through data support also. And then like a spokesperson or like a company employee or a salesperson who has shifted from monotone pitches to energetic client focused conversation, as in that kind of analysis and then survey, has raised monthly conversions by 30%, illustrating a payoff of personality refinement. So, you will find that some work on personality, some work on ways of your personality, and how we can kind of attribute some strength to that, that is very that will prove to be very important. I think like if you are talking about learning outcome, is like you should be able to conduct a SWOT analysis, recognizing opportunities hidden in those challenges, hidden in all those needs, requirements and expectations that come our way, and identify aspects of personality that require continuous refinement. It is not that, it is like very regular, continuous and a very sustained process that has to be understood like that. So, and finally, you will be able to understand that personality development is not cosmetic, but in fact it evolves and it includes becoming a better, more balanced version of yourself. It is an exercise in self enhancement, self improvement, self analysis, self actualization, like that. So, yes, we will understand all those aspects. If I give you a sense of why personality matters, I think it will be like I will share with you some everyday observations. People often wonder why some individuals attract attention effortlessly, secure jobs readily, or seem more pleasant company, and it has always been asked, like be it in the field of academics, be it in the field of film, cinema and sports, or like in a social field, you will find that some people they have a edge over others. They kind of, wherever they go, they are able to break the ice, they are able to kind of make their way little more easily. The same challenges would be there, but they will in a way swim through, they will talk through, they will kind of overcome those issues in a way, as if they are not even trying. So, I would say that that is perhaps largely because of their personality traits, their understanding of personality. So, like distinctive personality qualities make certain people enjoyable and render some colleagues critical or negative, shaping our social preferences and professional outcomes. This is something that we have to be aware, like, and this has often been seen, this has often been understood, that if you look at, like, there are two kinds of people, like winners and losers. Winners will always have a higher personality dimension, higher personality skill. On the other side, those who are not able to make it to the winning side, they will have a lower personality in a way scale, lower personality understanding, lower personality development. Like again, like if I may give you data, for example, among 500 HR managers, charisma and positivity were remembered more vividly than academic rank when recalling candidates a week after interviews. So, yes, your performance in the examination, your degree matters, but more than that, a sense of positivity. Like some people are very in a way like pessimist all the time, looking at the negatives, but then there are some people who will say, oh no, they are consummate optimists, and they will not let the positive vibes go away, and then they will survive those difficult moments and then make it count. So, yes, so like you'll often see in your day to day life that two siblings raised together can sit at opposite ends for extraversion scale, because the distinct friend circles and hobbies shape social ease. So, people roughly who are born at the same time, of the same parents, of the same family circumstances, they will have like different personality traits. So, this is why we are trying to emphasize, and like what are the questions which arise in this. I am saying that the where personality is inborn or cultivated, why siblings differ despite shared upbringing, whether we can emulate admired figures by purposeful change. Like that, I think that these questions set the stage for exploring definitions, components, and development possibilities of personality in this course of our discussion. Like what makes us different, what makes us achieve slightly higher goals, higher ambitions, like. So, look at the etymology of the word, etymological roots of this word. What is personality? Personality word is derived from the Latin term persona, connected to the masks in Greek and Roman theatre that allowed actors to project distinct identities. You will understand that, yeah, like personality in the root is like what is there inside you, and like there were like it was connected to in the beginning to masks, like when people used to wear those during their theatrical performances. So, yes, the ancient usage of this term gives us the feeling that personality concerns the role people play in society. The personality is something which it is about the role that people play in this society and the impression they create before others. So, yes, the outer self, the external self, what is visible to the rest of the world. Of course, a man is a complex intermix of a good combination of internal self and the external self. External self, people say that it's different, but fundamentally it is a reflection of your inner understanding, inner software, inner furniture. Like so, whatever is inside will obviously automatically naturally come out and create an impression of you. So, yes, this is something that is personality is the impression that you leave behind, the role you play in people's lives. So, that is how I think if you look at the early conceptual views on this term, for example, the famous thinker Cicero suggested personality reflects how we appear to others, and on the other hand, Hippocrates linked temperaments to bodily humors such as blood and bile, indicating biological underpinnings. This is also important to understand that people initially felt that, oh, it's again your interplay of your inner forces which bring out your personality. Like that, if these days humor theory no longer holds scientific weight, it has paved pathway for later psychological models that distinguish a friendly, melancholic or choleric deposition. So, this is like as I was telling you that it's a combination of multiple factors and sides. So, likewise you will find that in our understanding on personality, that yes, that the humor part which was originally held by many people relating to blood and black bile, yellow bile, that is no more relevant. Ancient Greek theatre masks reveal the origin of persona, this term that we are talking about, reminding us of people who often swap masks between family gatherings and workplace settings. So, this is like you must have heard of this, that every person has multiple sides. So, we need to meet every person like more frequently, more number of times, so that we are able to understand the ways of that person. So, like that, like in this term, this persona thing, which was like kind of used as a mask, as a physical preparation to be able to meet different diverse challenges and to play different roles in one's life. It would be also relevant, like that infants, to point out that infants already display dispositional differences, such as easy soothed versus hard to claim within weeks of birth, hinting at early biological roots of later personality. This is something that, like some people say that it's not that we cannot change, but once our emotions, our psychological self kind of shapes itself, then it is rather difficult for us to change in the later years. So, like that, yes, we are trying to understand the term personality, we are trying to seek to know that as to why personality matters, what are the various definitions, what are the various views on this right from early phase of it. So, if you look at the modern day definitions of personality, I think it will be like Larson and Bush define personality as a stable, organized collection of psychological traits and mechanism. So, you may mark these words like a stable or organized collection of psychological traits and mechanism that guide interaction with environment. If you go to APA, like American Psychological Association, which goes on to emphasize individual differences in thinking, feeling and behaving, focusing on both discrete traits and the integrated whole. So, yeah, like this is when we are looking at the modern day idea, it has to, like each individual is supposed to be unique. Like there used to be a time when we look for standardized solutions, standardized ways of doing something. But today, like for example, if you look at Alvin Toffler arguing that we need to unlearn, relearn, relocate ourselves in the 21st century and educational landscape. So, like when we are looking at the 21st century view, like it's about kind of looking at looking at an integrated whole, like where everything is combined, soft skills and hard skills. If you look at the common elements in the definitions, all cited definitions agree that personality produces characteristic patterns that make each person unique, and then these patterns influence adjustment to social and psychological, social and other contexts. You need to know about like whether stress falls on genetic traits or experiential learning. Scholars have agreed that principally the personality is both distinctive and influential across life domains. So, this is something that we have to be aware. If you go to the longitudinal data, you will find that traits measured at age 7 predict roughly 50% of the behavioral pattern seen at age 40. So, like just like we were discussing, that once you arrive at a kind of a definite mindset, then it is very difficult to change. Once you, whatever you, whether you start your childhood years, formative years, and like in a mental and physical sense, that phase, the early phase, becomes anyways of so importance. So it in fact with that we can say that determines the overall frame. It is also important to note that the corporate leaders high in consciousness and low in neuroticism are twice as likely to avoid underperformance reviews and supporting integrated trait framework. So, this is very relevant, and I think I will come to after this that we are talking about definitions, conceptual approach. It is look at, let us look at the Allport's dynamic organization. How can we organize our personality as far as soft skills are concerned. We need to look at the concept of dynamic structure. Gordon Allport described personality as the dynamic organization of psychological systems, underscoring that it is neither fixed nor static, but evolves with experience. Very important that it is not that like few people are born great, some people are but in fact like some people maybe yes, of course they are born great, but then some people become great by the dint of their hard work and dedication, and like some people have greatness thrust upon them. So, like that like it's not a very instantaneous, very kind of very fast system where personality would be achieved. No, it's a slow sustained pattern in which we earn that situation, that we are able to use our personality to an effective solution of the given situation. So, like Allport has come out and he views in like earlier there used to be two ways of understanding a personality, like your external self and your inner self, like, and then but Allport has said that that it is integration of bodily and mental processes, stressing that personality determines unique adjustments to environmental demand. This is very important that we look at this factor and then carry it forward. As far as Allport's dynamic organization angle is concerned, you may look at how say Marshall McLuhan, Alvin Toffler, and then Everett Rogers talk about personality dimension. We will look at inclusion of behavior and thought. Just like it was in the beginning years that he proposed this theory, but like he later added that characteristic view, behavior and thought to his definition, reinforcing the habitual responses and cognitive styles are central to personal uniqueness. So, like by merging the physical, the psychological and the behavioral elements, our thinker Allport has pointed out that personality is an ever changing yet organized collection, organized constellation of traits. This is something that you will also agree that it is not with one factor or one dimension, no, it is like multiplicity of factors and positions, and then ideas that we come to understand, we come to frame an understanding of what personality is. So, like that like how many case studies, how many like people that he involved, like it's a very complex thing to collect data in that domain. Allport sifted through 953 English adjectives describing personality before highlighting the most important, underscoring trait variety. So, yes, Allport is a major name, is a big name in soft skills domain, and you may readily kind of read his work, very easily available. So, like it has also been cited out that athletes who reinterpret pre-match nerves as excitement demonstrate the dynamic reorganization of the traits. This is what Allport has described. So, the point is that if you are very active, enthusiastic, very passionately involved into something, the the outcome of that given situation will be different. I'm like if I may extend Allport's trait categories in which cardinal and central traits are discussed. What are those the cardinal and central traits? Let us look at the first kind of traits, that are cardinal traits. They are like cardinal traits are so dominant in people's names because adjectives as such as when Hitler signifies ruthlessness, illustrating rare but pervasive personal objectives and qualities. That is very significant, and you may kind of build upon this point. Central traits such as honesty, sociability from the foundational adjective friends would naturally use when describing someone's general disposition. So, like it is very important that whatever word we use, we measure this word. We cannot simply be ostentatious with our knowledge, but sometimes silence is the key. Silence and kind of listening to the other person's point of view is the key. So, yes, like you have heard about the primary skills, but here you have like when we look at the central traits such as honesty and sociability, they form the foundational adjectives friends would naturally use when describing someone's general disposition. Yes, this is true, and we as functionaries in this domain of communication should be very aware of this. As far as secondary traits and situational responses are concerned, I am saying that secondary traits appear in specific contexts, nervousness before examination or stage fright, showing how attitudes fluctuate under certain conditions. This is something that you will try and establish contact through this external society, external ways of the world. So, like secondary traits appear in specific context, nervousness before examination or stage fright, showing how attitudes fluctuate under kind of under these conditions. So, yes, by classifying traits this way, Allport highlighted how stable tendencies and situational behaviors together craft the mosaic of personality. And if you look at the data side, the projection of the behavioral patterns, Allport has highlighted how stable tendencies and situational behaviors contribute higher the mosaic of personality. Only about 1 in 10 display a true cardinal trait such as Machiavellian driver or Mother Teresa, compassion that dominates their life, his story. This is something that we have to be clearly aware of, and we have to use this for the purpose of yeah, our professional, or like in a way a whole world at your disposal. So, like yes, a generally laid back student may become obsessively precise and when assembling model aircraft on weekends. So, like this is something also true that and when we are looking for personalities, we are of the opinion that the debate is changing now, like centering on mind, centering on mental studies. So many empirical ways have been explored to work on this, but it stands where it is. So, like yes, we have to look at the situation and we may go to the other thinker that we have Cattell, and like you have 16 personality traits suggested by him. Like you have in the earlier traits part, you looked at some authors, you will find a bit of repetition here, but then it makes sense as to what Cattell 16 personality traits are. Raymond Cattell refined Allport's 4,000 descriptors to 16 core factors, producing the widely used 16 personality factor questionnaire. So, like as we have discussed that there is one person located in Madhya Pradesh where he has done this study, and like this statistical condensation makes personality assessment practical for career guidance and counseling, linking traits directly to vocational fit. This is important, and you will understand that how crucial this point is and how we need to look at those 16 personality traits. For example, warmth, in that we are like little extrovert and little ambivert, and we are trying to create a pleasant situation. Emotionally stability, like is about calm and like it is about equanimity, peace, and like perfectionism stands out for disciplined part, like whether a person is disciplined or a person is not disciplined. So, like that each providing a spectrum for skill kind of for that desired skill that we are discussing about, that is self rating. Knowing one's placement on these continua equips individuals to leverage strengths and manage less developed facets consciously. In that sense, we are saying that companies that talk about discuss the 16 personality traits or features factors, their scores to hiring protocols have cut first year turnover by 20% in pilot programs. So, this is something that we can be aware. There is a empirical data to support this. There is a kind of a plethora of field data that we have, which we can use for our higher dimensional study of the personality development in soft skills. So, yes, like we have we will take a short break here and we will resume after some discussion.